Hello friends, welcome back to my channel Quest for Knowledge. Today we are going to discuss important 1 marks, because 1 marks we cannot expect from where what and all the chapter which is going to come. So it's better to prepare 1 marks everything from all the subjects. So this is the blueprint. This one is the blueprint. Here you need to prepare practical oriented question from first chapter, fourth chapter, ninth chapter and 10th chapter. Okay, 8 marks you need to prepare from. One question will come from the first chapter, two questions will come from the fifth chapter, one question from the sixth chapter, two questions from the seventh chapter, 10th chapter and 11th chapter. One questions respectively will be asked for the 8 marks. And for the long answers, one chapter one question, from the second chapter one question, from the third chapter two questions, fourth chapter one question, sixth chapter one question, eighth chapter two questions, ninth chapter two questions, 10th chapter 1, 11th chapter 2 and 12th chapter 1. 4 marks questions respectively will be asked. So let's get started with all the 1 marks now. What is efficiency? Achievement of goal with minimum cost is known as efficiency. What is effectiveness concerned with? The completion of goal is known as effectiveness concerned with. Efficiency means when we reduce the cost, when we reduce the wastage and minimize the cost, that is efficiency. Effectiveness is the completion of goal, that is effectiveness. Give an example for top level or middle class or supervisory level management. So CEO for the top, sales manager for the middle and inspector for the supervisory level. Which of the following is not a function of management? It's cooperating is not a function of management. After this, the question is, management is an art, a science, both art and science, and neither. It's both art and science will be the answer. Okay, the following is not an objective of management: earning of profit, growth of organization, providing employment, policy making. So it is not the objective of a management to provide employment. Okay, so that will not come under this. Policy formulation is the function of top level management. Coordination is the essence of management. Okay, now let's move on to second chapter. Who is known as the father of general management? It's Henry Fayol. Scientific management, Frederick Taylor. Okay, name any new technique of management developed on basis of principles of management. It's functional foremanship, written by scientific management, father of scientific management, who is Frederick Winslow Taylor, who advocated separation of planning and execution function in any organization. It is initiated and advocated by Taylor. Standardization according to Taylor. Standardization refer to the process of setting a standard for every business activity is called as standardization. What is the aim of simplification? Means to eliminate unnecessary diversity of product which result in wastage of cost. Okay, and it's eliminating unnecessary movement and unnecessary delivery of product and maintaining the saving. What after this, what is the difference between standardization and simplification? So standardization is nothing but a setting a standard, and it implies on devising new variety. But simplification is eliminating unnecessary product. Unnecessary products are being removed so that they can save the cost and they can reduce wastages. Okay, after this, what do we have is, who strongly advocated piece wage system? It is none other than W.F. Taylor itself. Objective of method study, it is the objective of method study is to choose the better method of doing the job is method study. And how many principles are being managements are there which is propounded by Henry Fayol? It is 14 principle, which is very important one. Okay, after this, which management principle of Fayol advocates that there should be one boss for every individual employee? It is the unity of command. Don't get confused with the unity of direction. Okay, because unity of command, where we every subordinate should listen to one boss to avoid any kind of a confusion. Okay, so that is why it is, when we discuss about one boss, the answer is unity of command is the principle which discuss about this. Principles of management are not absolute. Why? Because it is universal, it is flexible, it is based on the behavior, but it is not permanent, it is not absolute. Okay, after that, how are principles of management formed? It management by the observation, experience. It's like a complete propagation by the social scientist. Which of the following statement best describe the principle of division of work? Work should be divided into small tasks. None of the employees should feel the burden. Okay, likewise, it should be properly divided into small tasks, and it should be done in a very smooth manner. And all the workload should not be given to one or two employees. She or he keeps machine, material, tools ready for operation, and that is considered as gang boss. So, who works is prescribed by this sentence under functional foremanship. So, he is actually operation by concerned worker. He is considered as gang boss. He will have machines, materials, and all. Okay, what is business environment? Business environment is the total of individual, institution, okay, which is outside of our control. Okay, of a business enterprise, outside of the control of the business enterprise is business environment, but though it directly or indirectly affects the performance of the business, so that is in business environment. So, business environment is the surrounding of individual, institution, and other forces which is outside the control of the business enterprises, but they do have their effect on the performance of the business is business environment. Which of the following does not characterize the business environment? Its employees. Though uncertainties is there, relativity is there, complexity is there, but employees is not which shows the character. Which of the following is an example of a social environment? It is the composition of a family. It's discussing about everything is consumer protection, it's a legal. Okay, money supply, economy, constitution of the country, that is also comes under the country based. Okay, political. That family is the social. After this, liberalization means completely removing the restrictions. When the government removes the restrictions, okay, and he completely liberates the organization, so that is called as liberation. Nothing but reduced government control and restriction. Which of the following does not explain the impact of government policy changes on business and industry? So it's the changing agricultural prices. What is planning? Planning is deciding in advance what to do and how to do. Which function of management involves decision making? It's planning only. And function of management, yes. After that, state the first step in planning process to set the objective. What is single use plan? A single use plan is used for a one time event or a project. Once that project is over, the plan will be completed, okay, fulfilled. They are non-recurring one, they will not be repeated. What is standing plans? Standing plans are the activities which are occur regularly over a period of time and which is keep on recurring one. Give an example of a single use plan. It's a budget. Why? Because once we make a budget, after that we don't use the same budget. Okay, what is the standing example of a standing plan? Is a policy, like you should have to come in the formal dress. It's all policy, they have to follow regularly. Give an example for a plan which is neither single nor standing. It is a strategy. Strategy is also a kind of a plan, but it doesn't signify it's a single or even standing one. What is the meaning of rule? It is a statement that informs what is to be done and what not to be done. What is rule is very important. So it is the statement which is informed what to be done. What is budget? Budget is a statement of expected result expressed in the numerical terms. So budget is the expected revenue and expected expenditure which you are defining in the terms of numbers in the numerical form. It is considered as budget. Which of the following statement is not correct with regard to planning? So it is a mental exercise. Yes, it is a mental exercise. It provides direction. Yeah. It's a process of management. It's no, it is not the end. It is the initial process. Okay. Okay, it's which of the following is not the feature of the planning? So it focuses feature achieving objective. Yes, it is identification and division of work. So it is not the feature of planning. It is the staffing actually. Okay, and a primary function of management. Yes, pervasive. Yes, it involves identification and division of work is the answer, which is not the feature of planning. Okay, which is the following is an example of single use plan? It is a budget. Standing plan, it is a policies. Which management function translate the plan into action? So organizing function establishes the relationship among various factors present in an enterprise. What is organization structure? So organization structure is a system which defines the framework within which management operating functions are performed in an enterprise. So it is a system which gives you the framework. Under the framework itself you have to operate the function and perform the management functions. What type of organization structure is suitable? So it is the divisional structure is suitable for an organization involved in the production of different line of product. So when you are performing different products, then it is better to have divisional structure. When it is based on the function, okay, then we can have the functional structure of the organization. What is meant by delegation? According to Heyman, delegation of authority means the granting of authority to subordinate to operate within prescribed limit. So it is giving the responsibility to the subordinate to operate or to do the function, but with the given limits, prescribed limits. What is authority? Authority is the power to command employees and instruct them to perform a job. It refers to the right of an individual to command his subordinate and to take action within the scope of his position. It also refers to the right to take decision. Authority flow from top to bottom. The superior has authority over the subordinate. The authority is also restricted by law, rules, regulations of the organization. So every top level management has the authority over the middle level, and every middle level has the authority over the supervisory level of management. Likewise, every employer has the authority to their subordinate, and that authority is being restricted with some rules, regulations, and responsibility. Okay, what is responsibility? It is the obligation of a subordinate to perform the assigned duty, whatever the authority. So, whatever the authority is given already, to perform that is the responsibility of the subordinate now. Okay, the responsibility flows upward. Subordinate is always responsible to his superior. His superior is always responsible to his superior. So, authority goes down, flows down, but responsibility flows up. Can accountability be delegated? No, accountability cannot be delegated. When one can say that an organization is centralized, according to Louis Allen, centralization is the systematic and consistent reservation of authority at central point in an organization. So centralization means all the decisions are taken by the heads. Okay, so that is centralization. Decentralization means all the powers are given to those respective authority, that is decentralizing. So, what is decentralization? According to Lewis Allen, decentralization refers to a systematic effort to delegate to the lowest level all authority except that which can be exercised at central point. So, decentralization refers to the systematic effort to delegate to the lowest level all authority except which can be exercised by central. It means the decision making also they'll provide to the newcomers and to the low level of the management. So, which of the following is not an element of delegation? Delegation means giving your work to your subordinate. So, that is delegation. So, accountability is a part of delegation, authority is a part of delegation, responsibility is a part of delegation, but informal organization is not a part of delegation. So, that is the answer. A network of social relation that arise spontaneously due to early interaction at work is called, so interaction it is called informal organization. A network of social relationship that arise spontaneously due to interaction of work is called informal. Which of the following does not follow the Scala chain? It is informal. They will never follow any kind of chains. For delegation to be effective, it is essential that responsibility be accompanied with necessary. So it's authority. One, you should have the authority to give the work to others. Span of management refers to number of manager, number of term for a manager is appointed, number of subordinate under a superior. So that is the span of management. So how much a superior can handle the subordinates. So for example, a teacher cannot handle more than 50 or 60, 70. So it is not the span of management. Okay, if it is 30, okay, it's a span of management. Grouping of activity on the basis of function is a part of decentralized. So on the basis of function means the answer itself will be functional organization. If it is the division of the product, that will be the divisional structure of the organization. So what is staffing? Staffing is the managerial function of filling and keeping the filled position in the organization structure. Internal source of recruitment is promotion, transfer. Name anyone. External is the direct recruitment or campus recruitment also you can write. Mention the first step in selection process. It's preliminary screening. And any one type of selection test, aptitude test, personality test. What is meant by interview in selection process? It is formal, it is the in-depth conversation. It's interview. Okay, interview is the in-depth conversation conducted to evaluate the applicant's suitability for the job. After this, what is training? Training is the process of increasing knowledge and skill of an employee. Meaning of the development and staffing process. Development refer to the training of managers and executive to increase their overall competence. Name the on-the-job training method given to plumber, electricians. It is all apprenticeship. Okay, why? Because they have to learn that skill. So they will work under apprenticeship to learn those skill of an electricians, plumbers, iron workers and all. State the off-the-job training method given to. It's vestibule training. Vestibule training means giving the environment similarly to their real work environment and they'll train them how to work on those situations. Which one of the following is not a function of staffing? It's directing is not a function of staffing. So which one of the following is an internal source of recruitment? It's transfer. Why? Because advertisement is also external, campus recruitment is also external, employment exchange is also external. Promotion of employee result in increase in pay, increase in responsibility, increase in job satisfaction. So that is why answer will be all the above. Which of the following is on the job method of training? It's coaching, being learned on the spot when you are on the job. So that is why coaching will come under this. What is directing? Directing according to Coons and O'Donnell, by because it is very important to write the author name. Direction is the interpersonal aspect of management which subordinates are led to understand and contribute effectively and efficiency in the attainment of the enterprise objective. So it is nothing but the personal aspect of management where the subordinates are led to understand and contribute both efficiently and effectively for the attainment of goal is directing. Elements of directing is supervising, motivating. What is the motive? Motive is the inner state that energizes, activates, and moves and directs behavior towards the goal. State any one assumptions of Maslow, its need hierarchy theory. State any one leadership style. There are autocratic leadership, benevolent leadership, democratic leadership, charismatic leadership. Anyone you can write. State any one pattern of formal communication. It's vertical and horizontal. After this, what state any one pattern is done. Name any one type of grapevine network which is informal. It is chain or wheel. These all are informal one. Which one of the following is not an element of direction? Delegation is not an element of direction. So the motivation theory, which classifies need in hierarchical order, is developed by Abraham Maslow. Very beautiful concept. Which of the following is not an element of communication? Decoding, channel, receiver. These three is belonging to the element of communication. So communication itself is not the element of communication. Okay, the highest level need in the need hierarchy theory is the self-actualization, knowing your own origin, yourself is the highest one. Grapevine is the informal communication. Status comes under the following type of barriers. Organization, barrier. The software company promoted by Narayana Murthy is Infosys. The process of converting the message into communication symbol is known as encoding. The communication network which subordinates are, that is single chain. Whatever the order comes up from upper people, okay, so that they follow, that is single chain. What is mean by controlling? Controlling is a function of management which ensures the activities in an organization to be performed as per the plan. It is the function of management, and controlling is to just keep on checking and ensuring whether the task is being done as per we have planned. Second is, what is standard to in controlling process? Standard are the criteria against which actual performance would be measured. They are act as a benchmark toward which an organization strive to work. They'll create their standard, and up to that, whatever the standard they have created, as per that they'll start to work. So that is the standard. They will always try to maintain their standard, which is the controlling process. Expand PERT, CPM and MIS. So PERT is nothing but the program evaluation review technique. Program evaluation review technique. CPM is nothing but the critical path method. MIS is the management information system. What is ratio analysis? It is the analysis of financial statement through computation of ratio, by the calculation of ratio. So by that, when they calculate the financial statement, that is ratio analysis. Controlling function of an organization is forward looking, backward looking, forward as well as backward looking. Yeah, it is forward as well as backward looking. Management audit is a technique, okay, to keep a check on the performance of management audit is a technique to keep a check on the performance of the management of the company. Budgetary control requires the preparation of budget. Which of the following is not applicable to responsibility accounting? It's the accounting center. What is business finance? money required for carrying out business activities is called business finance. What are the primary objective of finance? The primary aim of the financial management is to maximize the shareholders' wealth. What do you understand by capital structure? Capital structure refer to the mix between owners and the borrowed fund. What is the meaning of financial risk? Financial risk refer to a position when a company is unable to meet to fixed financial charges, namely interest payment, preference dividend and repayment obligation. So these all are the financial risk. Give an example of fixed asset, land. After this, example for the current asset, cash in hand. What is the calculate net working capital? So calculate net working capital is equal to current asset minus current liability. The cheapest source of finance is the retained earnings. The decision of acquiring a new machine or opening a new branch is an example for investment decision. The decision of how much to be raised from which source is an example of financing decision. So companies with higher growth patterns are likely to pay lower dividends. Okay. Current assets are those assets which get converted into cash within 1 year. So it's liquidated one. A fixed asset should be financed through a long term liability. So here the question is expand IPO. IPO is nothing but the initial public offering. BSE is Bombay Stock Exchange. NSE is National Stock Exchange. NSEI is the Exchange of India. SEBI is the Securities Exchange Board of India. NASDAQ is the National Association of Security Dealers Automated Quotation. OTCI is Over the Counter Exchange of India. CSDL is the Central Depository Service Limited. What is mean by money market? So money market is a market for short term funds whose period of maturity is less than 1 year. What is stock exchange? According to Security Contract Regulation Act, stock exchange means any body of individual, whether incorporated or not, constituted for the purpose of assisting, regulating and controlling the business of buying and selling or dealing with the security or the stock exchange. Benchmark index of BSE is the sensitive index. Benchmarks is the sensitive index. Okay. What is the benchmark index of NSE? Nifty is the benchmark index of NSE. Name the first and the largest depository presently operational in India. It is the National Security Depository Limited. What is mean by depository? It's keeping security in electronic form on behalf of the investor. Give the meaning of dematerialization. Securities held by the investor in the physical form are cancelled. So it is being cancelled and the investment is given an electronic entry so that they can hold it in an electronic balance. This process of holding security in an electronic form is called as dematerialization. Primary and secondary markets are complement to each other. Why? Because primary is the issue of new share, secondary is the issue of the old shares which have been already issued by the new or the existing company. The settlement cycle of NSE is T plus 2. The National Stock Exchange of India was recognized as stock exchange in the year 1992. A treasury bill is basically an instrument to borrow long-term fund. What is mean by market? So state any one market philosophy or concept. It is the production concept or the product concept. What is the marketing of services? So Karnataka tourism persuading people to visit the state of Karnataka can be a good example for the marketing of services. Give the meaning of product. A product is the bundle of utilities that can be used to satisfy the human needs and wants. Okay, after this, what is the meaning of product? A product is a bundle of utilities that can be used to satisfy human needs and wants.
What is mean by packaging? So packaging refers to the designing and developing the package for the product. Labeling refer to the designing and developing the label to put on the package. State any one features of convenience good. The product are purchased at convenience with at least effort and time. What is brand? A brand is a sign or a symbol or a design or a combination of all of it and to use to identify the product. Name any one distribution channel. We can say manufacturer, wholesaler, retailer, and consumer. So, this is the distribution channel. What do you mean by zero level distribution channel? When there is no channel of distribution. So, from the directly from the producer to consumer, that is zero channel of distribution. What is publicity? Publicity is an unpaid form of communication. It is not a direct expenditure, but it is a kind of a marketing. So there is no identified sponsor, okay, but the message goes is the message reaches to the people. So that is publicity. So state any one unfair trade practices of manufacturers and services providers by which consumers are exploited. So it is adulteration of product, artificial things and all they added. So that is adulterating. State any one regulation which provides legal protection to the consumer. It is the Consumer Protection Act, which is also called as the uh, Co Cobra Act. Okay. Consumer Protection Copper Act. After this, in which year the Consumer Protection Act was enacted? So it is enacted in 1986. Who is a consumer? Who is the person who buys any product or services for its final consumption. Okay, after this, name any one redressal machinery or agency set up under Consumer Protection Act. It's direct redressal agency. What is the monetary limit of claim in District Consumer Dispute Redressal Forum? It is empowered to receive such complaints where the value of goods or service and the compensation claimed is not exceeding more than 20 lakhs. State the monetary limit of claim of state consumer dispute redressal. So it is not, it should claim exceeding 20 lakhs but not less than 1 crore. What is the monetary limit of what is the monetary limit is the National Consumer Dispute Redressal Commission. It is to receive such complaints where the value of goods or services and the compensation claimed is exceeding more than 1 crore rupee. Name any one consumer organization or NGO which is Consumer Coordination Council. Okay, what is an entrepreneur? The person who set up his business is an entrepreneur. Who introduced the term entrepreneur for the first time? So it's French economist Richard Cantillon. Expand enact, empower, enaf, and enort. Enact is need for achievement, empower need for power, need for affiliation, and need for autonomy. Autonomy is the answer. So that is it. So we have gone through with all the 1 marks of all the chapters. Now I have attached all the model question papers of 1 marks. Along with that, I have attached the model paper of this year 2022 and the preparatory exam paper of this year 2022, so that you can go through with all of the answers. So this is an assignment for you all, that you have to answer for all of these questions, and you need to judge yourself and examine yourself that how much of marks you can obtain after going through with all of these questions. So this is all about, so this is all the model paper, and and thank you so much for watching. So even I have attached this model paper. We will go through with all of these model papers also one by one in my coming video. So do stay tuned, so do subscribe. Why? Because a lot more is going to come. I'm going to make the passing package. Along with that, I'm going to make the toppers package, so that you should not only get pass, but I assure you, you should get pass, that too with good of the percentages, like more than 60 percentages. And even the toppers can go with trying. First question, which is very important question, is what is management? Define management. So according to Harold Kuhns, management is a process of designing, maintaining an environment in which individuals working together in groups efficiently accomplishing selected aims. So it's a process of designing, maintaining an environment in which individuals working together in groups efficiently accomplish selected aims. State any two organizational objective of management. So it is survival, second is the profit and growth. So these all are the objective of management. So first of all, how you will write management means you need to write, because management is something we design, okay, like how we want to manage, and then we maintain that environment. Why? Because management is especially for the individuals who are working in group, and why they are working in group? Because to accomplish some aim. So that is the management definition you need to give. Define coordination. Again, a very important question. Coordination is the process where by an executive develops an orderly pattern of group efforts among his subordinate and secure unity of action in the pursuit of common purpose. So it is a process. Again, coordination is a process where executors develop a kind of a pattern of group effort among their subordinate and try to maintain a unity of action into that for the ambition to seek a common purpose. So this definition is given by McFarland. Justify the importance of coordination by two factors. So coordination integrates group effort into purposeful work and activity. Integrates means it brings one thing to with the another. It adds the group effort into a purposeful work activity. Coordination ensures the unity of action. So that is it for the 2 mark of the first chapter. Give the meaning of mental revolution as propounded by Taylor. Mental revolution involves a change in the attitude of worker and management towards one another, from competition to cooperation, from competing to each other to working with harmony with each other. So that is the mental revolution which is being propounded by Taylor. What is discipline according to Fayol? Discipline is obedience, to follow, to be bound by the organizational rules and employment agreement which are necessary for the working of the organization. So whatever the organization makes the rule, even the employees should need to agree to it. If they don't agree, then that is, they don't, it will start to create more conflicting scenarios. State any two differences between unity of command and unity of direction. It is little confusing. We need to understand unity of command is one boss. We need every individual employee should follow one boss. So that is unity of command. And if they have two bosses, it will lead to confusion. So it is related to the people and their relationship in the organization, that who is my superior, who is my subordinate. So it is about the people and their relation. That is unity of command. Unity of direction, it advocates all the unit of organization to be working toward the same objective. None of the function, none of the other, every unit should have their own different objectives. So that is unity. Every management should be for the unity of, they should be working towards the same objective of the organization. After that, this unity of direction is not direct related to the people. It is related to the work. It is related to the work towards the accomplishment of the objective of the organization. Yet again, a very another important question, which is, what is Scala chain? Scala chain, it's a line of authority from highest to lowest rank, which is known as Scala line.
scalar chain. So it is nothing but the formal lines of authority from highest to lowest rank. What is gang plan? It is also a very important question. Gang plan is a shorter route in a scalar chain which allows employee at the same level to communicate with each other directly. Gang plan is used in the case of emergency. So gang plan is a informal sometime, okay, why? Because it allows to communicate with the other same kind of a position worker. Now, what is the meaning of globalization? Globalization is the integration of the local economy with the global economy, okay, or else you may write it in this manner: it is the various economies of the world leading towards the emergence of the cohesive global economy. So you may write as the representing the local economy within the global economy is the globalization. What is the privatization? It is the removing the restriction from the government and giving the ownership to the even the ownership is being transferred from the public sector to the private sector is called as privatization. What are the two features of planning? Planning focus on achieving objective. Planning is a primary function of management. Okay. Meaning of planning premises. Planning premises are the assumption about the future condition and event. Trend, population, legal regulations. So these all are the example which we need to go through. Okay, plans should be formulated by the management within the framework of the planning premises. So planning premises is nothing but the assumption about the future condition and event and trying to work for that. Okay, so that is the planning premises. What do you mean by objective? Objective are the end point towards which are the organization are directed. Objectives are set by the top management. So it is the end of the activity to which every organizations are being working for and every organization is directed to work for. Okay, what is strategy? Strategy are the specific program action for achieving the objective of the organization. It is a comprehensive plan which acts as a guideline to handle specific problem. So strategies are the specific programs of action for achieving the objective of the organization. So it is a kind of a plan itself, okay, but it acts as a guideline to handle specific problem. So a strategy is how to establish the demand for the existing product, okay, when the competitor has introduced a similar new product into the market. So these all are the strategy which is quite similar with to the plan. What is a policy? Policies are general statement that guide thinking toward a particular direction. What is procedure? Procedure is a routine step on how to carry out our activities. What are the give the meanings of program? Programs are detailed statement about a project which outline the objective, policy, procedure, rule, task, human and physical resources required and budget to implement any course of action. So program will include the entire gamut of activity as well as the organizational policy and how it will contribute to our overall business plan will also matter into this. So meaning of program, it is nothing but the outline of the objective, and policy, procedure, rule, task, everything, all the entire gamut will gamut of activities come under this. Okay, so that is what you need to write about the program. What is define organizing? According to Henry Fayol, to organize a business is to provide it with everything useful to functioning, like raw material, machine tools, capital, personnel. So it is to provide with everything useful for the functioning. So that is considered as organizing. What are the meaning of organizing? It is the process of defining and grouping of activities of the enterprise. Establishing authority and responsibility relationship is considered as organizing. So organizing is the process of defining and grouping the activity of the enterprise, along with that creating a authority and responsibility relationship. So what are the difference between functional and divisional structure? Functional is the grouping of job of similar nature and organizing them as per the
functions are being taken as the separate department, so that is why functional structure it is called. All departments are report to the coordinating head, which is more useful for large core organization. Divisional structure is a grouping of activities on the basis of product. Under this structure, the top level delegates extensive authority to the division heads. The division heads are in charge of manufacturing, purchase, sale, engineering and other department of the division. He is also made responsible for the profit or loss of the division. So, divisional structure is advantageous for organization involved in production of different line of products. So that is why it will be very beneficial for the different type product lines, divisional structure, various function lines, functional structure. Give the meaning of the formal organization. It refers to the organization structure which is designed by the management to accomplish particular task. It specifies clearly the boundaries of authority and responsibility, as it is the systematic coordination among the various activity to achieve organizational goal. Okay, it is a kind of a design. It is designed by the management for the accomplishment of a particular task. After this, compare the contrast authority and accountability. So, authority is nothing but the power to command employees and instruct them to perform the job. Accountability is being answerable for the final result. Authority is being delegated, but accountability cannot be delegated. So, what are the differences between delegation and decentralization? Delegation is the compulsory act because no individual can perform all tasks on his own. So, he will delegate some of the work to his subordinate. And it is a narrow scope and it is limited to superior and his immediate subordinate. So, that is delegation, which is a complete related to a superior and his subordinate. But decentralization is wide. Decentralization is wide because it's a optional policy decision. It is done on the discretion of the top level management, and it implies extension of delegation to the lowest level of management. Even the supervisory level also get being joined for the decision making. Why is staffing both a line as well as staff activity? Staffing is both a function of management as well as a distinct functional area of management. It is therefore referred to as both line as well as staff activity. So, staffing is both a function of management as well as a distinct functional area of management. It is therefore referred to as both line as well as staff activity. It is essential function of a manager as well as an advisory role played by human resource department. Why is staffing both line as well as staff activities? Because it is distinct functional area of management as well. It is a function of management as well as distinct functional area of management. So, it is both line as well as staff activity. Why? Because advisory role is being played by the human resource department. After this, write any two factors which influence the way of recruitment, selection, training of employees in any organization. So, first is the rapid advancement of technology. That is why we need new skills, and new skills to which we will hire new employees. Increasing size of the organization. The more the business expands and grow, the more the people we need to work in the organization. That is the reason we are which influence for the recruitment, selections and all. What is recruitment? It is the process of finding a suitable applicant for the job. What is the meaning of selection? Selection is choosing the best candidate from the large pool of candidates and applicants. Placement, it's a process of assigning job to the selected candidate. Orientation is introducing the new employee in the organization to the existing employees and making him to be comfortable and familiarizing him with the rules and policies of the organization. Give the meaning of transfer. So, transfer means a lateral movement of employee in the same grade but from one job to another without any change in his status, responsibility and salary. State two type of direct financial payment which an organization can adopt to pay its employees. One is the wage and salary, second is the incentive. What are the difference between training and development? So it's a process of increasing knowledge and skill, which is training. It enables the employee to do the job better because of the training, and training is completely a job oriented process. As per the job the training is given. But development is quite different. It is the process of learning and growth, and it is enable the overall growth of the employee, and it is career oriented, not the job oriented one. Now, what is job rotation? Job rotation is an example for the on the job training method. It involves shifting the training from one department to another so that it enables the trainee to get the broader knowledge of all part of the business and how the organization as a whole functions. So that is job rotation, and to avoid the boredom doing the same kind of routine job. Two merits of external sources of recruitment: fresh talent made available, second, wider choice. Demerits is that morale of the existing employees goes down, and it's a lengthy process of recruiting, selecting, giving the placement, orientation. Mention any two merits of internal sources: it is economical and it motivates the existing employee. Do demerits of the internal sources is that no fresh ideas will come to the organization and there will be limited of the choice. What do you understand by supervision? Supervision is an element of directing. It means overseeing what is being done by subordinate and giving instruction to them. It is an important function. So that is supervision. It is overseeing what is being done by the subordinate. What is motivation? Motivation is a process of stimulating people to action to accomplish desired goals. This is being said by Scout. It is a process of encouraging people to action to accomplish desired goals. Two features of motivation: it is an internal feeling and it produces good behavior. Leadership, according to Coons and Ordinal, leadership is the ability of a manager to induce subordinate to work with more confidence and goal. Two features of leadership: leadership indicates the ability of an individual to influence other. Leadership tries to bring change in the behavior of others. Communication is an exchange of facts, ideas, opinions, emotions and information by two or more people or person. State any two elements of communication: sender, message, encoding, decoding, channel. What are the psychological barrier? One is the perception, second is the filtering. State any two personal barrier to communication: fear of challenge to authority. If superior perceives that a particular communication may adversely affect his authority, he or she may withhold such communication. And lack of confidence of superior on his subordinate. If superiors do not have confidence on the competency of their subordinate, they may not seek their advice or opinion. So define managerial control. Controlling is, according to Coons and Ordinal, measuring and correcting of activities subordinate to ensure that events conform to plans, Coons and Ordinal. It is being said by Coons and Ordinal. Controlling is according to measuring and correcting of activities of subordinates, so that to ensure that an event conforms to plan. State any two traditional technique of managerial control: personal observation, break-even analysis. State any two modern technique of managerial control: return on investment and ratio analysis. What is the meaning of break-even analysis? It is a technique. It is a technique used by manager to study the relationship between cost, volume and profit. It determines the probable profit and loss at different level of activity. Like, it is a technique which is being used by manager to know the relationship between the cost, volume and the profit. So we can understand probable profit and loss in various situations. What do you understand by budgetary control? Budgetary control is a technique of managerial control in which all operations are planned in advance in the form of budget and actual result are compared with budgetary standard. So it is a managerial control where all operations are planned in advance, so in the form of budget, and they compare the actual result with the budgeted standard. What is responsibility accounting? It is a system of accounting in which different section, division, department of an organization are set up as responsibility center. The head of the center is responsible for achieving the target set for his center. So this is considered as responsibility center. So what do you understand by financial management? It is concerned with raising financial resources for the effective utilization toward achieving the organizational goal. What is investment decision? With an example, it is relate how the firm fund should invest in different assets. Investment decision can be long term and even can be short term. A long term investment decision is also called capital budgeting decision. Example, making investment in a new machine. Short term investment decision is called as working capital decision about the level of cash in hands and all. What is financing decision? The decision about the quantum of finance to be raised from various long term sources is known as financing decision. The long term sources of capital like debt, equity, preference share capital and retained earning, so this all comes under the financing decision. Okay, and what is mean by dividend decision? It is related to how much of the profit is being earned by the company and how much is to be distributed to the shareholder in the form of the dividend and how much profit should be retained in the business. State the twin objective of financial planning. It is the availability of fund whenever required, and it is the firm does not raise resources unnecessarily. So this is the objective of financial planning. What is financial leverage? Write the formula. So the proportion of debt in overall capital is the financial leverage, and the formula is D divided by E, which is debt divided by equity. How much of credit is there when compared to the ownership? What is the meaning? What is the meaning of trading on equity? Trading on equity refers to the increase in profit earned by the equity shareholder due to the presence of fixed financial charges like interest. So, trading on equity refers to the increase in profit earned by equity shareholders due to the presence of fixed financial charges like interest. Write the formula to calculate debt service coverage ratio. Debt service coverage ratio is equals to profit after tax plus depreciation plus interest plus non-cash expenses divided by preference dividend plus interest plus repayment obligation. So this is the formula to calculate debt service coverage ratio. So the question is, American Management Association defined marketing as the process of planning and executing the conception, pricing, promotion and distribution of ideas, goods and services to create exchanges that satisfy individual and organizational goal. So marketing is the process of planning and executing the conception, what are the prices to be fixed and how to promote the product and how to distribute the idea, goods and services to create exchanges that satisfy individual as well as organizational goal is considered as marketing. Define marketing management. Kotler, he says that marketing management is defined as art as well as science of choosing target market. Okay, it's target market and getting, keeping and growing customer with creating, delivering and communicating superior customer values of management. So marketing management is art as well as science of choosing target market and keep on growing customers through creating, delivering and communicating the customer value of management. Two features of marketing: needs and wants, customer value, exchange and creating market offering. Two example of the thing that can be marketed other than product: service can be marketed, transport service can be marketed, a person can be marketed, example political leader and all. What is standardization? It is the producing goods of predetermined specification which helps in achieving uniformity and consistency in the output. What is grading of product? It is a process of classification of product into different goods on the basis of some of its important characters such as quality, size, shape, flavor, color and all. What do you describe marketing mix? It is described as the set. It is described as the set of marketing tool that a firm uses to pursue its marketing objective. So marketing mix, according to Neil, it is the combination of four inputs, which is product, price, promotion and place. What do you mean by consumer good? Products which are purchased by ultimate consumer for satisfying their personal need and desire are considered as personal product, consumer product, like soap, textile. Example of convenience good. Convenience product are those products which are purchased frequently, immediately and with least time and effort, as referred to as convenience good. Example, toothpaste. Durable products like television, fridge and all. How do you describe shopping product? Shopping product are those consumer product and in the purchase of which buyer devote considerable time to compare the quality, price, which like example when we buy jewelry. Two function of packaging. Packaging helps to identify the product and packaging helps to create a brand, and a product promotion is possible with the help of a proper packaging. Two objective of pricing: to create a market share leadership. It's because of the price we need to set up such a good price, okay, so that great number of people can attract, and in we can able to survive in the competitive market when we have a very good pricing strategy. After that, what are the two distinguishing features of advertising? First, we have paid form of advertising, okay. Second, there is no direct face-to-face contact between the prospect and the advertiser. Therefore, they'll have an impersonal method of promotion. Third is identified sponsor. The advertising is undertaken by some identified individual or company who make advertising effort and also bear the cost of it. What is personal selling? Personal selling involves oral presentation of message in the form of conversation from one to the prospective customer for the purpose of making the sale. What is consumer protection? Consumer protection referred to providing adequate protection to consumer against the unfair trade practices is considered as consumer protection. State any two reasons for the importance. It's to consumer ignorance, unorganized consumer. State any two reasons to emphasize the importance is the long-term interest of business and business uses society's resources. What are the two consumer right? Right to safety, right to be informed, right to be heard, right against exploitation of the goods. Who can file a complaint? A consumer, and any registered consumer association can file a complaint. So, who is an entrepreneur? The person who set up his business is called an entrepreneur. Who introduced? It's Richard Cantillon who introduced the term entrepreneur. What is NAC, NPO, and NF, and this is we have done. What is entrepreneurship? It is the process of setting one's own business is considered as entrepreneurship. Two characteristics of entrepreneurship: it is systematic activity and innovation. Expand cash, okay. It's knowledge, attitude, skill, habit. Ideas analogy: it's international environment, domestic economy and state of the sector or economy. What is the difference between entrepreneurship and management? The focus is on startup, which is entrepreneur. The focus is on the operation of the business, which is done by the management. Entrepreneurship is an informal approach, while management is a formal approach. State any two functions of entrepreneur in relation to economic development. So, it helps for the contribution in GDP and it helps in capital formation. What is the SVO analysis for the entrepreneurial opportunities? So, entrepreneur is the person, entrepreneurship is the process, and enterprise is the outcome. What are the four competencies of entrepreneurship as identified by EDI? So, it is initiative, it is a choice more than a compulsion, and he sees and acts on opportunity. He sees the problems, and based on to that he creates an opportunity for himself to conduct a business. Persistence, they never give up so easily, and they are lifelong learners. They keep on knowing and knowing who knows, and they will consult experts and reading relevant materials, and they start to open with the ideas and knowledge. What and all we learned till now was just all the question and answers as per the subject. These are all the very important questions which have come from the various previous papers and the model papers. Along with that, I have attached the model paper of this year and the preparatory paper of this year. So this is your assignment. You have to write this as test after going through with the explanation of my previous chapter wise. I have given all the 2 marks questions explanation. Now it is your thing. You need to write the answers for this, and to get practice yourself with all of these important questions. Okay, so this is yours. If you found this video helpful, do like, share and subscribe, and comment your suggestions below in the comment box, and do share it with your friends and marks. Okay, so let's get started. Any 4 techniques of scientific work study? So we have work study, method study, motion study, time study. In work study, we have 4 techniques, that is method study, time study, motion study, and simplification and standardization. So first of all, what is method study? Means to simplify job and develop a proper method. After that, time study is to determine the standard time for doing the operation. And now we'll discuss the fatigue study. So fatigue study seeks to determine about the frequency of rest intervals which is needed to complete a task. After that, we have a movement study. So what is the movement study is that how much of movement is involved doing a task. So these all are the 4 types of study in work study. One is method study, time study, fatigue study and movement study, or else you may write about standardization and simplification of work also. Let's move on to the second question, 4 features of business environment. The feature of business environment is that it is external forces. Okay, we can't help it out. We can't our business cannot create any kind of a impact on the external forces, and it is general forces, and it is dynamic nature. It is changing and we are dependent on them. So it is interrelatedness. We are related to them and they are related to us, and there is uncertainty, complications and relativities are there. These are the features of the business environment. Let's move on to the another question. 4 features of planning. So the features of planning is that it is a primary function of management. First of all, you need to give a brief explanation about planning. So planning is the things which we do in advance about what to be done, how to be done and all. So the features of planning is focuses on the achieving objectives. It involves decision making. It is futuristic and continuous process, and it is pervasive in nature. So this is all are the features of planning. So let's move on to the next question now. So principal benefits of training and development. So these all are the benefits of training and development to the organization and to the employee also. So job satisfaction, reduction of turnover, uncover employees' potential, consistency, team spirit and optimum utilization of resources. After that, 4 aspects of work study, so which we have already gone through. Okay, that is the motion study, 4 aspect of work study we have already gone through with this. Let's move on to the next question, is that 4 limitations of planning. So in this you may take any 4 limitations. One, it is very time consuming, costly, it is rigid, and it has paperwork, it causes frustration, uncertainty, human error. So you may take any of this. Let's discuss the next four nature of principles of management. So these all are the four natures of principles of management. So it is the nature of the principle of management that it is universal applicability and general guidelines. There is being formed by the practice and proper observation experimentation, and the principle of management is flexible and it is based on the behavioral and based on the cause and effect relationship, and it is contingent. So these all are the nature of the principles of management. So you need to write about a short heading and very short stuffing. Okay, next. First, you need to give a brief explanation about what is planning. Planning is the thing which we do in advance, what to do and how to do. So, importance of planning is that it helps us to make a clear objectives. It provides a course of action to be taken, and it improves performance. It improves efficiency. Through planning, we can have a simplicity and clarity with our objectives. So that is what you can add up more points if you want to. What are the four methods of on the job training? That is what we are going to discuss now. So on the job training, we have orientation training, apprenticeship training, internship, so job rotation, coaching. So these all are the on the job training. So after that, four objectives of management. These all are the objective of management. Under organizational objective, it is about survival, growth, profitability. Under social objective, we have employment opportunity, less pollution, safety of employee, fair trade. Under individual objective, better position, better salary, peer recognition, etc. So these all are the various objectives of management. So the next question we have steps in organizing process. So the process of organizing is first of all determining targets, determining actions, coordination of actions, distribution of the duties and responsibility, assigning of authority, and formation of organization charts and manuals, and organizing the action. So these all are the steps of the process of organizing. So that is it from here, and we'll move on to the next question. So let's discuss the next question, internal sources of recruitment. So these all are the internal sources of recruitment, that is promotion, retirements. Based on that, the job will be given to the next thing, former employee, transfers, internal advertisement. Let's move on. Importance of directing. So these all are the importance of directing. It helps in achieving goals, integrate employee, improve efficiency, facilitates change, brings stability and balance in the organizations, etc. Now let's discuss features of business environment. We have already gone through with the features of business environment: uncertainty, relatedness, uncertainty, general force, external force. These all are interrelatedness, etc. Now let's discuss limitations of planning. So limitations of planning, it is also we have discussed delegation and its element. So what is mean by delegation means shifting the authority, okay, shifting the responsibility to the other person. They have the authority to give orders to the other, that is delegation. The element of delegation is authority, okay. So it is taking decisions in order to guide the activity. Authority is that power which influence the conduct of others. Second is responsibility. It is the obligation towards the subordinate to perform the duty. After that, we have accountability. When a superior assigns some work to subordinate, he is answerable to his superior for its success or failure. So that is all about delegation. Now we'll discuss four types of selection tests. So we have aptitude test, intelligence test, personality test, performance test. In aptitude test, they'll check about the mental ability and intelligence, and medical aptitude test and psychomotor test, like how in what minutes, how fast you are in typing, etc. like that. Now four semantic barriers to communication process. So next question is semantic barriers. First is the faulty translation. Second is the unclarified assumptions, denotations and connotations, technical jargon, bad expression, and words with different meanings. These all are the semantic barriers. Features of planning. So the features of planning: it's a primary function, it is pervasive, it is continuous, it is futuristic, it involves decision making, and it focuses on achieving the objectives, and it is smooths the functions. We know the course of actions. So these all are the features of planning. Process of organizing. You may write this also, or previously I have attached one photo, that also you may go through, but easiest is this one: identification and division of work, after that departmentalizing, after that assigning the task, after that establishing organizational hierarchy and creating the resources and coordinating the efforts. After organizing, what are 4 on the job training? I think so we have already gone through on the job training. 4 points: importance of understanding business environment to manager. Yes, business environment to manager. So these all are the importance of business environment. We can identify opportunity and get the first mover advantage, identify threats and early warning signals. The manager gets tapping useful resources, coping with the rapid changes. After this, what do we have? Okay, so the time for the final question is 2 types of plans. So you may write any of these plans, like hierarchical plans, standing plans, single use plans, or contingency plans. So in this I have taken standing plans. Such standing plans are which covers issues of for that manager faces repeatedly, like coming late, not wearing ID cards. So they may try certain kinds of strategies to deal with that. After that, we have a contingency plans. It means if our work is not going out in the thought manner and there is uncertainty, then what kind of a course of action to be taken if there is certain uncertainty. So that plan is considered as contingency plan. I hope you like this video. And if studies, so these all are the important 8 marks as you are going through. The first question is: management is a science or art? Let's discuss. Management is science because of several reasons. It is universally acceptable principle, and it has a cause and effect relationship. Why? Because every action has a reaction. At the same time, in art, it requires perfection through practice, practical knowledge, creativity, and personal skill. So that is why management is considered as both art and knowledge. We must know some of the theoretical knowledge as well, some experimental knowledge as well, and along with that it is experimented. That is why it is both arts and science. By going through with this picture itself, you can make a proper note. Okay, like business studies, how you need to write the answer is like, जैसा समोसा है वैसी स्टफिंग. ओके, 6 रुपीज़ का समोसा है तो 6 रुपये की स्टफिंग, 12 रुपये का समोसा है तो 12 रुपये की स्टफिंग. लाइक दैट यू नीड टू डू, लाइक दैट यू नीड टू स्टडी. मेन आप उसको हेडिंग्स, यू नीड टू रिमेंबर द हेडिंग्स and you need to do the stuffing. So how management is an art is because of the practical knowledge. Start writing, make a heading and then do the stuffing. Okay, because of the practical knowledge. And then personal skill. Everybody should have to possess certain skill, so then only they will be able to manage it. So management need a certain kind of personal skill. And the manager should have to be creative. So that is why creativity is a origin of art. So that is why management also has certain kind of creativity, perfection through practice. Once what we do, we make mistakes, but we learn from the mistakes and we try to perfect ourselves, and it is goal oriented. That is why management is the art of a kind. And why it is a science of a kind, let's discuss. Because of the concept. Every management has a concept. Okay, we do need to follow certain kinds of principles, which that is why it is a part of science. And it is theories. We do have a theory, and it is observed, it is experimented, and that is why it has the universal applicability. And we need a organized knowledge of everything, and we need to keep on practicing. So that is why it is both art and science. By here you can understand why management is as a science is because of the systematized body of knowledge, where the art is a theoretical knowledge and principle based on observation and experimentation. That is why it is science. Okay, and that is a personalized application, that is comes under the category of art. Science, management as a science because it has universal validity. Okay, and when you go to Japan, China, the way of management might be different, but the principle of management will be same. So management cannot be considered in exact science, but an inexact science. Management is an art, is as it satisfies all characteristic of an art, and that is why it is said management is the art of getting things work done through the people. So that is the difference between management as a science and management as a art, and you know now what is the concept, and you can easily write it for 8 marks. Now let's discuss about the formal organization. The second 8 mark question is, describe the formal organization and its advantages. So formal organization means the intentional structure of roles in a formally organized enterprise. Formal organization refer to the structure of well defined jobs, each bearing a definite measure of authority, responsibility and accountability. So in formal organization, each and every person is assigned with their duty, responsibility, relationship, authority, and as it is being prescribed, directed by the top level management. So formal organization is the inner structure and defined roles which every individual has to follow in a formally organized enterprise. Let's discuss the advantages. So here it is, the advantages is that because of the formal organization we can have optimum use of the resources. Why? Because every work is properly allotted, supervised, controlled, so we can avoid wastages, and there could be an optimum uses of even human resources also and material resources and everything. And secondly, job satisfaction. The way it is formal, people will able to satisfy themselves. And motivating employees, because of the formal organization the employees will have a good environment, the employees will have good groups or departments to work on, and it will motivate them with the proper rewards and incentives. And facilitating management action. So the way the formal organization is, it facilitates the management to take proper action and to achieve goals, and we'll discuss the same advantages in detail. So one is the systematic working. So formal organization structure leads to systematic and smooth functioning of the organization. This is the first. Achievement of organizational objective. Formal organization structure is established to specially to achieve the organizational goals and objectives. No overlapping of work. In formal organization, all the work is properly allotted, divided among the various departments, so there will be no confusion and no duplication or no confusion of work, no overlapping of work. Coordination means it's a structure where various departments work in harmony, and it will lead to a proper chain of command. So formal organization structure clearly defines who need to be responsible to whom. So superior subordinate relationship is maintained properly, so that the work is allotted to them is also properly fulfilled, and it gives more importance to work. After that, delay in action. So the disadvantages of the formal organization is that it takes a lot of time, it is very time consuming, and it ignores the social need of employees. They mostly give importance to work, they ignore the need of an employee. After that, they only give importance on work only. That is a kind of a advantages to one side, and but it's a disadvantage to the other side, that they give only importance to the work but don't understand the human relationships, creativity, talent, etc. So what are the external recruitment sources of the external recruitment? Is first is the media advertisement. Through media, through newspapers, through the magazines, we come to know that the various jobs vacancies are available. Second is employment exchange. So from one branch to another branch, or from one department to another department, they exchange. So that also is possible. From one company to other company, they just exchange. So that is employment exchange. After that, factory gate recruitment. So from the factory, it's a factory gate, means on the spot recruitment. After that, casual callers, okay, through casual calls. And the most important is the campus placement, that after the immediate college, they select the students, the final year students, and after their exams and final exams, they get immediately they are being available for the jobs. After that, labor contractors. they immediately contact to the contractors for more labors and walk-ins. So if you directly walk in for interview, that is also possible. E-recruitment means there are various websites and apps nowadays, like Apna app is there, Able Jobs, Naukri.com, where you can apply and where you can get the jobs, even where the company will look for the recruitment. And last is the management consultants. There are various consultant agencies who provide jobs. So these all are the various sources. To the stuffing, it will be very helpful. So the people joining on the recommendation, employment agencies like Naukri.com, etc. Advertising, through advertisement and through direct campus selections and contractors, and trying to hire unskilled labor and giving them training for the works like that, and going through with the list of applications and going through with temporary workers as well. So what are all the things you need to remember is that direct recruitment, casual callers, advertisement, employment exchange, placement agencies and management consultant, okay, and campus recruitment, recommendation of employees, labor contractors, advertising on television, web publishing, etc. So these are the external sources of recruitment, and only you need to write the headings and you need to write the stuffings. Only if you understood the concept, you can easily write. After that, what is directing? Directing is a process of instructing, guiding, counseling, motivating, leading and inspiring people in the organization to achieve its objective. So this is what you need to write. Okay, directing, it's not only involves about orders and instruction by a superior to the subordinate, but also it takes like supervision, motivation, leadership, communication, and they lead the people towards the organizational goal achievement, and it is continuous managerial process throughout the life of organization. So what are the principles of direction? So the principles of direction is that there should be harmony of objective. Every individual should be working towards the same goal, okay, and there should be maximum contribution. So it is a teamwork, so everyone should have to contribute. So this is the maximum, there should be maximum contribution, and there should be unity of command. Like there should be no confusion, they should have to work towards one goal and one command. They have to, all the subordinates should agree with one command. After that, the principle of directing is to supervise, to control the employee, to supervise them and to do the effective leadership. So the director, the manager should have to be a proper leader as well, and they have to motivate. The employees have to be motivated by the director, that is by giving them proper direction by the employer or the manager. And apart from that, follow through the proper principles and to go on governing and checking and leading to them. So these all are the principles of direction. That's, you have know the headings, you need to do the stuffings now. Here it is your stuffings. How many of objectives? That there should be harmony, unity of direction or command, that every employee should receive orders and instruction from only one superior, okay, so that to avoid the confusion, if there is 2 or 3 bosses, there will be confusion. Direct supervision, the manager should have a direct relationship with their subordinate. There should be proper communication, their plans, policies, procedures, everything should have to be properly communicated. Follow through is, direction is a continuous process, follow is necessary. So the management should watch whether subordinate follow the order and whether they have difficulties in carrying out the orders or instructions. So they have to follow through with that. So these all are the principles of directing. Know the headings and do the stuffings. This is the rules of writing business studies. Our next important question is organizing and importance of organizing. So organizing involves assigning of task, grouping of task into department, delegating authority, allocating the resources across the organization. Before a plan can be implemented, manager must organize the asset of the business to execute the plan efficiently and effectively. According to Kuhns and O'Donnell, it is grouping of activity necessary to attain enterprise objective and the assignment of each grouping to a manager with authority necessary to supervise it. So what are the steps in the process of organizing? First we need to identify and divide the work, and we need to group the work, and then we need to assign the duty and establish a relationship of subordinate and superior. So these are all the importance of organizing. So importance of organizing, that first of all it facilitates administration, because the process of organizing leads to systematic allocation. When there is a proper division of work, responsibilities allotted, that who and all is going to perform the various jobs, so it facilitates easy administration. Second, it encourages growth and diversification. Okay, why? Because every people know the clarity of their working relationship, so it encourages a growth also, and in after growth the people, they can diverse into more better things. So when everything and everybody is properly organized and work is divided, tasks are properly assigned, so they can use the proper technology. So there is the optimum use of technology, optimum use of resources, no wastages. These are all the importance of organizing. And organizing leads to the stimulation. It enhances more of the innovation and technology, and it also encourages good human relationship, and it ensures the continuity of enterprise and coordination. In simple manner, you can write also about benefits of specialization. Due to organizing, proper organizing, there will increase of productivity, there will be good performance, the repetition of work leads to specialization, clarity in working relationship. When you allot the proper task to the proper people, there will be clarity in work, optimum utilization of resources. Proper organizing will lead to proper adaptation to change also. They are ready to accept all the challenges. The administration will be very effective. Not only the organization will grow, a personality will also grow. Okay, the every people can grow and develop themselves as a role with a great role and responsibilities, and there is a great expansion and growth for the overall organization. Now let's discuss towards the next question, which is top 10 leadership qualities. So the top 10 leadership qualities, first it's honesty and integrity. He should treat everyone with equal, and the leadership should be like honest and integrate. It means he has to go through with good cooperation. Second is the confidence. What you can wear, the best thing to wear is confidence. That is what a very good quality of a leader. After that, you need to inspire others. Okay, your quality should be like the people get inspired by you. Commitment and passion. So a leader will always be very passionate, and he'll always be the leader. He's the one who get your hands dirty. He knows the art how to get the works done by the other. And he's a good communicator. You must communicate. The leader should communicate their message effectively. Decision making capability. The decisions taken by leader will have a very good effect on the people. He'll always profound impact on their people. After that, accountability, that the leader should be very accountable. Delegation and empowerment, the leader should empower the followers and delegate tasks to them. And a leader will always bring out new creativities and innovation, and leader should have to develop empathy with their followers. So these are the top 10 leadership qualities. You need to write down the headings and you need to do the stuffing. So do the stuffing according to the heading. Okay, let's move on to the next question, which is the definition of management and characteristic of management. What is management and what is the characteristic of management? So to write about management, first you need to give a brief brief introduction about management. So first we'll understand what is management. Management is the art of knowing what you want to do and then seeing what is done in the best and cheapest way. Or else to manage is to forecast and to plan, to organize, to command, coordinate and to control, said by W.F. Taylor. So what are the characteristics of management? One is the understand the headings and you need to do out the stuffings. So management is universal. Wherever you go, the management is there. So that is why management is universal. Management is goal oriented. So management has a goal, that is why it is goal oriented and we are working towards the fulfillment of its goal. and management is a continuous process, and it is not going to end by with one task. It is a continuous process, and it will be continuing till the life of the organization. Management is multidimensional. So multidimensional means it has various phases. Okay, it is multifaceted, and management is all about a group activity. It is not a one man show. It is all about teamwork, coordination, cooperation. So group activity. Management is a dynamic function which keeps on changing. We need to keep on adapting to the change. So our way of management is not same with the people managing 10 years back. So every management is changing according to the changing environment. So it is dynamic, and it is intangible force. We can't able to see, we can't able to touch, but we can realize it. Next important questions is, what are the various plans? So first you need to give a brief understanding that plans are what to be done, how to be done. When we are trying to discuss in advance about what to be done and how to be done and whom to be done, that is called as plans. And there are various kind of plans like hierarchical plan, standing plan, single use plan, and contingency plan. Let's discuss them in detail. So what is hierarchical plan? They are institutional, managerial, and technical core. So these kind of plans are hierarchical levels. Okay. Now the hierarchical plan is again classified into three: strategic, administrative, and operational. So you know, strategic means the planning, procedure, programming. So the higher level of planning are called as strategic planning. Okay, it belongs to the top level. Second, what do we have is the administrative. So administrative is about the middle level of management. So how to manage the organization, that comes under the middle level of plan. That is why it is called as administrative or intermediate plan. The last hierarchical plan is the operational plan. It is the lower level. Okay, it is all about the doing the task and trying to accomplish it on time with the available resources, and what and all to be covered day by day. So the day to day operation of an organization is considered as the operational plan. After that we have standing plans. Standing plans are, for example, manager may be facing the problem of late coming quite often. So manager design a standing plan to implement automatically each time an employee is late for work. Such is called as standard operating procedure, like strategies, procedures, rules, not to come late, wear ID cards. These all are the standing plans. So what comes under the standing plan is the mission or purpose, because they are interchangeable and identifies the basic task of an organization for which it is created. For example, the mission of a university is to impart higher education. The mission of any companies to work together and grow together. So these all are the mission. So this comes under the standing plans. Under standing plans we have strategies also. Strategies are broad based standing plan which helps the determination of the long term objective of enterprise. Policies are most standing plans like guidelines for repetitive actions. After that we have policies. So policy also comes under the standing plans. Okay, like what and all the limits, okay, which decisions to be made, what are the limits to be followed, how to contribute, what is our objective, and these are all the policies comes under the standing plan. And after that we have rules, what to follow, no smoking zone. So rules means what to do and what not to do. So these also comes under the standing plans. In an organization, what we are supposed to do, what we are not supposed to do. So these all exercises our individual's discretion. So lastly we have contingency plans, that the process of planning is based on certain assumption what is likely to occur in the environment. Contingency plans are made to deal with the situation that might crop up if these assumptions turn out to be wrong. So it is alternative course of action to be taken. What we are predicting or what we are thinking that environment will happen, if does not happen and due to some uncertainties, then what kind of action to be taken, that comes under the contingency plan. After this we will move on to the next question. Your question is, what are the different on the job and off the job training methods? So on the job method is orientation. First you will able to understand what is your work, what is your role, responsibilities, everything. That is orientation training, okay, letting you to know about your work. After you are joining, when you are being trained for the further works, that is orientation training. After that, apprenticeship training, when you are working under the job as an internship or apprenticeship for free, when you are working to learn, that is apprenticeship training. And after that, when you are being assistant and working as an intern, so that is also an on the job training. For example, nurses, doctors, lawyers, they all work as an interns and assistants, so that they can learn on the being on the job. After that, job instruction training. When you join for the work, the people will instruct you about how your job should be done, how to be done, how the manner to be done. So that kind of a thing is also on the job training, which is job instruction training. And then you will have job rotation, like sometimes we'll have night shifts, sometimes we'll have day shifts. Along with that, sometimes we need to, for example, if it is a garment industry, sometimes we will be given the work of stitching, sometimes we'll be given the work of cutting, so that it is job rotation, so that you may know about every job. And after that, the last is the coaching. So when some kind of a coaching is given on the job to gain more knowledge related to the job, is all comes under the vestible training. Is like completely creating an artificial environment. Like for example, to be a pilot, they'll create certain situation how you will deal. So like that, they'll artificially create an environment where you just get all kind of a training. So that is vestibular training. Second is the lecture, which is of the job training. According to the lectures, you have to learn about through the lectures, and after that you have to do with the special study, that is also of the job method. Conference and discussions, by that you will be able to understand. So this is also a kind of a training. And you will be given role play and case study. Especially this is very much given in for the lawyers. They'll be given a case study, they have to play as a, so how you will represent if the case is like this, like that, it is given to the management and to the lawyers and all. So that is important for them mostly. And after that, simulation is also a kind of a role you have to play, and what you will do in their situation, in that situation, that is. And programmed instruction, so you will be getting proper instruction regarding to the work. Laboratory training, films, they'll show you films and televisions. Based on that, these all comes under the training, but under the of the job training method. What you need to do, I hope you all know clearly that what you need to do. You need to write the heading, and you need to do some of the small stuffing. Let's discuss to the next question. So the functions of management is planning, organizing, staffing, directing, controlling. So planning, planning is the function of determining in advance what to do, when to do, how to do. Organizing is the management functions of assigning duty, grouping tasks, establishing authority, and allocating resources required to carry out a specific plan. Staffing is putting the proper right person with the right qualification for the right position of the right job on the right time. And directing is about leading, motivating, communicating to the subordinates to achieve the organizational objective. After that, controlling involves establishing standard of performance, measuring current performance, comparing it with the established performance, and taking corrective action. And if there is any significant deviation between actual and planned performance, they aim to ensure whether everything is done according to the predetermined goal. So these are the great functions of great management. As you can go through with these also, like controlling, it is like ulta, okay. Here it is from the down, you need to see planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling. Based on this also you can write what you need to do. You need to write the headings, and then you need to do the stuffings. So how does the training and development benefits to the organization? So it's systematic learning. When the people are more knowledgeable, it is very helpful for our organization itself. It increases our productivity. It increases our productivity. We can prepare for the future managers. It boosts the morale of the employees, that even we care for them, and there is a better response to fast changing environment. So we need to keep on learning, because the environment is keep on changing. And these all are the benefits for the organization, that it avoids wastage of resources, increases the productivity, and increases the morale. And what is the benefit for the employee? Better career, better earning, more efficiency, and reduction in the learning time. And apart from that, what you can write, what are the importance or benefits to the organization overall, is that for the organization we have discussed, for the employee also, career growth, okay, increased earning. So overall there will be job satisfaction, reduction of turnover, uncover employee potential, they can understand their capabilities, there will be increased consistency and efficiency, it will enhance the team spirit, and optimum utilization of the resources will be acquired with the help of giving training. So these all are the benefits for training and development to the employee as well as to the organization. What are the measures to improve communication effectiveness? That we need to clarify the idea before communicating. So we need to be very clear with our idea. After that, communicate according to the need of the receiver. So we need to understand the receiver, and we need to communicate accordingly. After that, we need to consult before communicating, and we need to be aware of the languages, tone, and the content of the message. We need to convey things of help and value to the listener. It should be a helpful thing, okay? What we are trying to communicate should be helpful to the listener, and we need to ensure proper feedback from the listener as well. And after that, communicate for present as well as the future, and we need to follow up communication. We need to keep on reviewing, and we have to be a good listener if we want to communicate also. We have to be a good listener to communicate with them properly. So as you can see that there should be less misunderstanding, there should be a healthy workplace culture, and we should be non-threatening environment there should be, and it should solve conflicts easily, and the team spirit should be there, so that it will enhance our effective communication. After that, we have increasing good communication increases our self-esteem, it clear our direction. With a proper and effective communication, we understand our direction, there will be stronger teamwork, because everybody are communicating in a proper manner, it will lead to proper work, and it will enhance the teamwork also, and job satisfaction will be there, and a business success will be there if the business goal is properly communicated. So this is what you need to write about how to improve communication effectiveness. So this is all the thing that you have to keep it real, be timely, okay, and focus on consistency, properly tailor your message, and give importance to it, and encourage feedback. And the most important 8 mark is business environment dimension. So as you know, first is the economic environment, okay, and second is the technological environment, third is the social environment, fourth is the political environment, and fifth is the legal environment. So economic environment describes forces which have economic impact on business. Social environment describes characteristic of the society. Technological environment about the various technologies which the firms and business operate. Political means the political condition and the nature of the government, it describes about that. Legal means various law, legislations and all. So you may go through with this also for your immediate reference. If you write about a very short note about it also, it's fair enough. And let's move on to the next question, which is about supervision. How does a manager need to supervise? So here it is that the supervisor has to keep on reviewing the performance. So he has to check out quarterly the performance review, annual performance, setting annual goals, creating professional development plans, and regular communication. So regular discussing the projects, work lead, and identifying and solving problems, appreciating and developing feedback, and coaching and supporting should come under regular communication. And expectation setting means new staff orientation, setting annual goals, creating professional development plans, reviewing and revising the work plans, delegating, assigning project. These all are the various work or roles of a supervisor, and roles and responsibilities of a supervisor on a daily basis and on a short term and long term manner. So here are the roles of a supervisor. Supervisor are responsible for managing a team's progress and maintaining a positive environment. First, he has to manage the workflow. Second, he has to train the new hires. And third is to create and manage team schedules. Fourth is to report to HR and senior management. Fifth is to evaluate the performance and give proper feedback. After that, identify and applying career advancement opportunity, and then he has to help in resolving employee issue and dispute. So these all are the supervisor's responsibilities and roles, and you all know how you need to write it, and just understand if you be a supervisor how you will be performing it. Like, imagine and try to give a heading and do the stuffing. The next important question is process of staffing. In that, first of all, we need to plan how many human resources we need. After that, we need to analyze about the job and the nature of the job, and we need to recruit, select, placement, induction, training and development, and then process performance appraisal, compensation and promotion and transfer. Questions for second PUC in business studies. So without much delay, let's get started. First question is, draw a neat diagram of levels of management. So if you write this, you will easily get 5 marks, and this is a must asked question in all the model papers and preparatory papers which we have seen, and even in the previous one. So you need to write top level management, and examples of top level management is board of director, chairman, general, manager, president, vice president, CEO, CFO, who is the financial officer, and COO, which is the chief operating officer. So they all come under the top level management. After that, middle level management, purchase manager, sales manager, exchange officer, marketing manager, so they are come under the middle level management. Supervisory level of management, where will come supervisor, superintendent, foreman, section officer, clerk, sub department executive, etc. So these all are the level of management. So what goes from up to down is the up to down is the authority, down to up is accountability. So the next important question is, state any 10 false principles of management. This is very important one. Okay, so Henry Fayol's 10 principles of management is division of work. The work should be divided. After that, authority and responsibility, discipline, unity of command. We should always go through with the command of one boss. Unity of direction. Okay, the every goal directions should be directed towards the accomplishment of goal. Alignment of interest, remuneration of employees, centralization, order, equity, stability of personnel, initiative, esprit de corps. So these all are the Henry Fayol's 14 principle of management. In that, any 10 you need to write. Let's move on to the next question, which is, draw a chart presenting the elements of business environment. So business environment, it's also a very important 5 marks, which is social, economic, technological, legal and political environment. So if you draw this, you will easily get 5 marks. So social environment, technological environment, political, legal and cultural environment is also there, but these are the business environment. Now let's discuss the next question, which is, bring out the steps involved in planning while establishing a new business or the process of planning. So the planning process is, first of all, we'll set the objective, and then we need to develop the premises, and then identifying alternate course of action. After taking the alternate course of action, we need to evaluate the alternate course of action, and we are going to finally select one alternative, and after that we are going to implement the plan, and then we'll do the follow up action. So these are the process of planning. Draw the organizational chart showing divisional and functional structure. So this is very easy. When it is divisional, it is based on various product will use the divisional. Example, you have the garments, cosmetic and even the footwear. After the product will go through with the functions. So every garment will have purchasing, marketing, finance account. Every cosmetic also will have the purchasing, marketing, finance account. But the functional is based on the functions. It is completely based on the function, like production department, under that there will be processing department, quality control, marketing department, under that there will be sales, advertising and marketing, research, purchase department, under that they'll have purchase department, they'll have receiving quotation and purchase of raw material, purchase of tools and machines, record of purchases. Finance department, they'll have all kind of accounting, budget and cost accounting. So divisional as per the product, and then come the function is function under that functions. After that, 10 sources of recruitment. It's also yet another very important questions for your exams point of view. So internal sources are only two, which is transfer or else promotion. External sources are recruitment at factory gate, casual callers, advertisement, employment agency, management consultants, educational institutions like campus recruitment, recommendation, labor contracts, even telecasting. So these all comes under the external sources of recruitment. Internal one is only two, transfer and promotion. So you may write like recruitment at factory gate, campus recruitment, normal call, advertisement, management consultant agencies, labor contractors, or even telecasting, phone interviewing. Maslow need hierarchy theory, very beautiful concept written by Maslow. So it is the new theory. So first need is the physiological need, which is basic need: food, water, warmth, rest. Safety need, security and safety. After that it comes the psychological need, which is the belongingness and love need. We need relationship, we need friends. After that it comes about the esteem, which is important for our status, power, position, feeling of goal accomplishment. So this all comes under the esteem need, which is under the psychological need. So last need is the self actualization, which is achieving one full potential and creative activities, that is self fulfillment needs. So yet these all are not so important, but still very important. So as a manager of organization, what are the modern techniques of controlling you would like to adopt? So first you will set performance standard. After that measure the actual performance. After that compare the actual with the standard one, and then analyze the deviation and taking correction action. So this is you can control as per the controlling. These all are the process of controlling. As a financial consultant, give the list of any 10 factors which affect the choice of capital structure. So cash flow position, interest coverage ratio, debt service coverage ratio, return on investment, cost of debt, tax rate, cost of equity, flotation cost. So these all are the things which affects. As marketing manager, suggest any 5 sales promotion activity. So it's a rebate, which is a kind of a discount, refund, quantity gift, rebate offering product as the special prices, discount offering product at less than the real price, product combination offering another product as gift along with the purchase of a product, offering extra quantity of the product. So these all you need to write. So this is a letter which you need to write. So this is, we are going to write a letter to the registrar, who is the Karnataka State Consumer Dispute Redressal Commission, Cunningham Road, Bangalore. So this is the subject, which is complaint regarding service of two-wheeler. So on 1st of February 2019, I had bought a kinetic Honda two-wheeler model number, made in purchase of Mahalakshmi Layout, Ravi's showroom on 1st February 2019 by paying an amount of rupee. Unfortunately, the two-wheeler is not working properly and the pickup is not proper. The brake system are also not up to the mark. To resolve the problem, I approached the showroom authority, who in turn guided me to the authorized service center. But the service center authority are not ready to do the needful free of cost through the warranty period is still on for the vehicle. So I'm looking forward to your reply and a resolution to my problem. I'm enclosing between the receipt, warranty card, model detail of the vehicle and detail of all my vehicle. Please lodge a complaint against the seller and kindly ensure the timely action is taken in the regard. Thanking you, your faithfully. Like this kind of a letter you need to write, though it is not important, but still, as I'm not making the passing package, it is a toppers package, and toppers should have to know all the knowledge of what and all kind of a question will be asked. So the last question is, draw the neat diagram of efficiency desirability matrix to check the ability and willingness of entrepreneur. So this is the matrix. First we'll understand the desirability, which is low or high. He belongs to which category? Eager entrepreneur, ready entrepreneur, not ready entrepreneur, potential entrepreneur. And then self efficiency, low and high. Like this you need to answer yourself to understand the efficiency plus desirability matrix. For example, you are eager but you don't have the money to invest. So eager but not ready. So that your self efficiency is high. Desirability is high. But the thing is that you can be potential. Then your efficiency desirability matrix come to understand that you can be a potential. Why? Because you have not made the money now. So you have to make your arrange money for your investment, and so that you can be a entrepreneur. So this is the efficiency desirability matrix to understand to check the ability and willingness of the entrepreneur. So though even this is also is not important, but I told to you earlier, this is the toppers package, and the toppers should be aware of each and every kind of a question which will be asked for your examination. So I hope the video was helpful to all of you. If you like this video, do like, share and subscribe, and comment your suggestion in the comment box below, and do share it with your friends, and thank you so much for watching.